Welcome into the John M. Huntsman Center on the campus of the University of Utah, the site of the 2024 5A State Championship Basketball Tournament on KSLSports.com, your online and exclusive home for online championships. Dusty Litster, pleased to be joined by Dane Stewart and Coach Gus Sopena from Bountiful High School. Coach, welcome to the broadcast. Old partner comes back for the state tournament.
Awesome to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you along with this. Let's start first with our matchup. Is Timpview versus Alta, as always, presented by Heidemann Associates. Brought to you by NutriCost. Use the code UTAHMADE. Get 30% off your supplement order. Let's start first with Timpview. This is the rematch of last year's 5A championship. You were really close to that action on that one.
A little bit.
Coach, tell us a little bit about this Timpview team.
So Timpview's obviously led by Dean Ruckert. He's got to get them going tonight offensively. A big key for them tonight, Dusty's going to be, can someone else pick up the scoring load if Dean is not being guarded the way that he's expecting tonight? So if he's being face guarded, for example, who's going to pick up the scoring? Is it going to be Isa? Is it going to be Callan? Is it going to be Will Openshaw? So someone needs to try to pick up the scoring if Dean Ruckert's not there. So big key for them tonight is just that, and then just executing Izzy's game plan tonight, because you know that Izzy's got a game plan tonight.
Izzy's got a really good game plan tonight, I'm sure. Let's talk about the Alta Hawks, the reigning 5A champions. They got tested in the first round in the first half, and they're going to look to bounce back tonight.
Yeah, it's a team for Alta that I think a lot rests on the ankle of Ace Reiser. And, you know, how healthy is he going to be? And that's one of the things that, I don't know if he's getting healthier, twist that late in the season. And I think we saw in that second round matchup against Brighton that it was better. How better is it tonight? And, you know, the other thing for me is this is an Alta team that's very long. How they deal with the length of Timpview, because this is one of the few teams in 5A that can match up with the length of that.
Yeah, it's been very interesting because Jackson Johnson's got to get going offensively. It's a kid that does not force it. Coach, if you're a coach, how do you force Jackson Johnson, or do you even care if he wants to be involved in the offense? Because he's such a willing defender, but he's someone that's not going to force the issue offensively.
Yeah, last year it was a big emphasis for us to come in and just be physical with him and force him to just do things he's not used to doing all the time. So, you know, we were okay with him taking his shots. The one that killed us was Carter Doliak. Carter Doliak had a great game for them last year in the championship game, and so he's been more aggressive offensively lately. And so I think they're okay with Jackson Johnson getting his own tonight. I think they need to try to contain Reiser and try to contain a little bit of Doliak tonight.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, take us through some keys of the game. If you're coaching both these teams, let's go through two keys from each side.
For Timpview, again, all about the execution of the game plan from Coach Engel. Defensively, you know, they have something special up their sleeve. Last year we did what we call thumbs up, which is we're trying to double team a lot of the point guard ball screens. And so whatever that execution is tonight, that's going to be a huge key for them tonight. And then like Dane was mentioning, like how do they do against that length tonight against you know, the taller guys on Alta, taller guys against Timpview. It's going to be kind of a battle to see who wins out the length battle.
And if you're at Laforno's, you go cheesesteak, you go Stromboli.
Oh, cheesesteak all day.
That's how Gus and I got to know each other, was through wrestling and talking about Broomall, Pennsylvania food, as Gus is from Southeast PA.
One of the best spots to eat in the world is going to be what? Geno's or Pat's, Dusty?
It used to be Abner's until Abner's went out of town.
That's true.
It's no longer open.
It's not.
So I don't have enough. You know what it is? It's a 51st and Haverford, $5 cheesesteak on 51st and Haverford. If you dare go, that place is amazing.
It is amazing. I can vouch for that as well. One of the best places to eat a steak in the world.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into this one. Starting lineups for the Alta Hawks: Carter Doliak, Jackson Johnson, Ace Reiser, Dash Reiser, and Carter Goodfellow. And for Timpview, Dean Ruckert, Corbin Hansen, Will Openshaw, Mason Ford, and Isa Naliai. Coach Izzy Engel and the Timpview T-Birds looking to get back to the state championship game. Coach Travis Orn and Alta looking to defend their title.
Fans, are you ready?
32 minutes and the vocal cords of Dane Stewart on the line with Tan Marty.
I can't even laugh anymore.
As that ball is controlled by Timpview. They go in the blacks and orange just like last year in the championship. Up top, Dean Ruckert, Jackson Johnson on that coverage. It's going to be a fun matchup between those two. Ford slips that ball inside, and it's Corbin Hansen. Just like we all suspected, Corbin Hansen with the first points tonight.
Yeah, the defense, you can tell, was looking right at Dean Ruckert right there. And all the attention was on him, and Corbin was able to sneak back for that backdoor.
Jackson Johnson for three.
That's a good sign for Utah fans as well. This is going to be his future floor. That was well beyond the college arc. You want to go 2-3, Jackson's going to be comfortable with that shot all game.
I believe his feet. He is deadly. There's Nolly Eye off the swing. Dash riser. Tries to turn around. Ace picks the pocket. Here comes Ace Riser. Ice and Nolly Eye with him, and Ace with the steal and the layup. And that ankle seems to be looking good.
And that's all signs go for Alta.
As Nolly Eye goes inside out. 3 on the way from Mason Ford. And Coleman's little brother knocks down the 3 as Doliak saves that back in. Nolly Eye with the steal. Got numbers. Jackson Johnson, the only one back. Isa drops that inside. Hansen misses. Loose ball picked up by Carter Doliak. Great job by Jackson. I feel like I was watching Mighty Ducks 3 right there. Good job, Charlie. Is that ball blocked away from Dash Riser? Mason Ford, good hands by Ace. Man, who needs a shot clock?
Nobody can't even get to 24.
No.
Coach, you'd know better than me. I feel like at Timp and Ogus, Coach Engel, it was all about the 3 ball and outscoring teams. I feel like at Timpview, he's put a real prime emphasis on the defense. Has that been true your time as an assistant under Engel?
Absolutely. When we were there, big emphasis on our defensive matchups, trying to take away the strongest option from the other team. Still an emphasis on the 3s and layups and free throws, but big, huge emphasis on the defensive matchups of the game.
Ruker past Johnson at Doliak. No. Board from open shot, up and in.
That's going to be a big key tonight, Dusty and Dane, is that length is coming into play right there.
Well, he and Tolstrup, they can both shoot it from far out, and they got great length on the interior exterior as well.
Dash sends out to Jackson Johnson, out to Carter Goodfellow. Goodfellow in the lane. Nice find to Doliak. Blocked away on the jump ball. Good play. Hansen already has a bucket, and now a big defensive play. Possession will stay with Alta.
And again, this is not something that Alta's had to deal with this year. Is the length across the board that Timpview has. That's a finish for Carter in every other game this year.
Extra pass. Here's Dash Riser. Of course, our instant replay brought to you by Utah Facial Plastics and Timpview legend Doug Henstrom. As that ball goes in and out from Carter Doliak. He only missed 1 shot on Saturday. He was 12 of 13 from the floor. As Dean Ruker sends that back out to Hansen, cycled through. Mason Ford floated up. No, on the rebound to Ace Riser.
Don't you just love how calm and composed the Riser boys are? That's one thing that's always impressed me. Watching them a lot recently with the Highland film I've watched, they're always just so calm and cool.
And there is the younger brother, Dash Riser. They are so good.
How about the resiliency of Dash? He got his little mid-range blocked just a couple minutes ago. That time, the long 3, Riser able to hit it.
You also look out for their cousin, Isaiah Riser, an absolute star at Copper Hills as a sophomore. He and Carlo Mulford in that region potentially for the next 2 years. Be an absolute blast. As Hansen sends it out to Ruker. Mason Ford, extra pass to Nolly Eye.
Great recovery by the D.
Isa in and out. Tips out and is tracked down by Ace.
Good ball movement by Timpview, but Alta was able to recover very well.
Inside out, Jackson Johnson off on the 3. No call on the contact. Back out to Ace. Ace was looking for Dash. Ooh, we're going to have a foul on the drive on Mason Ford. Your officials tonight in this one is Mark Stevens, Matt Basham, and Chad Leatham. And it's a TV timeout on the floor. We'll take it as well. It's a Utah Facial Plastics timeout. You're watching the 2024 5A State Championship Basketball Tournament on KSLSports.com. Presented by Heidemann Associates. Brought to you by NutriCost. The TV timeout. 3:59 left in the first quarter. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, Coach Gus Sopena with you. Can't wait to hear Gus' stories of waiting for Mike Piazza to come back into Phoenixville and go get a hoagie. As a 3 from Johnson goes in and out. And to hear Superior experience at Wawa versus Sheets for all those in Northwest Pennsylvania and their nonsense.
No question about Wawa being the best one, Dusty. Come on now.
No kidding.
Hey, I'm a Sheets guy. You keep it down over there.
As the 3 is good. That is Dean Ruker.
Looks like Timpview's dropping into their 1-3-1 right here.
I love a 1-3-1. Why don't we see more of it in the high school level, Gus?
I think it's because teams are really good at versus passing to the corners, and just getting the ball to the corner just puts your defense in a tough position because you have to rotate really fast. So that's kind of one reason why we didn't run it as much. But great and one right there by Alta. Doliak with another great finish.
Absolutely, and in fact, it's interesting that Quincy Lewis ran a 1-3-1 almost exclusively at Lone Peak. He took it to BYU. He's not running it at all, really.
I love it.
At Lehigh.
I love a 1-3-1. But I'm not a coach, so I can say that and get away with it.
I wish we would have done a little 1-3-1 the other night against Highland. Could have stopped Big George.
Oh, man, George McConkey. We're getting a chance to see him next. George McConkey.
I actually got that reference, Dusty. That was good. I like that.
Nephew of Gary Finn. Ball into the quarter, 3 on the way, and good. Ruckert with back-to-back triples.
When he's confident, look out.
Isn't it amazing that Timpview always has a 3 that looks like that guy? Gavin Baxter, Jacob Wallin, and now Dean Ruckert. That ball inside. That ball slapped away from Doliak. And back up the floor with the T-Birds leading by 2. Timpview in the rich basketball history. We mentioned Quincy Lewis. He won state championships at Timpview under his father, the legendary coach at Timpview. There's a traveling violation on Mason Ford.
Mason's got to look right there. When he's driving like that, he's got to look for that little dump off to Will Openshaw. A little too much over dribbling right there by Ford.
It is number 2, Mo Compton for Alta.
In fact, you have the famous state championship picture at the Marriott Center when Chris Evans climbed on top of the rim and stood up and flexed. And then his son did the same thing when he won with American Fork at the Marriott Center 2 years ago. 3 on the way. McKay can't get it.
Yeah, that shot looked flat coming out of the hand.
Ruckert with the blow by. Ruckert at the rim. And 8 points in the quarter for Dean Ruckert.
Like Dane said, when Dean's playing with confidence, man, watch out.
You know, the other thing, too, is usually Alta, they engage a lot of their offense off their defense. Right now, Timpview's not turning the ball over. Very crisp passing, getting good looks. It's not allowing Alta to get out on the run.
Uncharacteristic forced shot there by Ace Reiser. Quickly back the other way. Open shot to the rim. No. Isa Naliai there for the follow. And a 6-point Timpview lead. Ace Reiser comes off the screen. Gonna pull for 3. Off the mark. Rebound. Still loose. Ford has it. Jump ball. And a possession arrow belongs to Timpview.
No timeout there? Come on.
I was expecting a timeout, honestly.
No, you know, what's your feelings on the timeouts on jump ball situations like that?
Too many times, in my opinion, especially this season, I've noticed that they've been called a little too quick, in my opinion. Just you have to establish position.
This is why Gus is on the broadcast.
Yes,
right there.
He gets it. He understands the program.
Yeah. I'll admit, I think I got away with one the other night against Highland.
I think you did too.
Yeah,
We brought it up. Ruckert with the crossover. Jackson Johnson thought he had the swat. They're going to put Ruckert at the line. Let's take a quick look.
This is the problem. When you hit those 2 threes, if you get driving, now Ruckert's not intimidated. Hey, I'm going to go right at him. See him take advantage of it with that mindset and work his way to the line. I was talking, Coach, with you before the game. I said, I feel like half of Gus's line every night comes from the line. He's so adept at getting to the free throw line and converting. Such an underrated part of his game.
It is, I agree. And that's a big emphasis from Coach Ingle is if you're not shooting a 3, you're going to the free throw line and shooting layups and one. So Dean is really good at getting to the free throw line.
It is immediate timeout, and apparently these weren't shared with the coaches. So immediate timeout brought to you by Utah Facial Plastics. We always say in sports, look good, feel good, you play good. And in life, it's the same thing. If you look good, you feel good, you'll work better, you'll parent better, do lots of different things. And Utah Facial Plastics, it's not just about cosmetic surgery, but it's also about things that will help enhance your quality of life. Look, if you're losing your hair, you're a guy out there, even a gal, you're out there losing your hair, Utah Facial Plastics also helps with hair restoration. Call 801-960-3137. And if you're like me, just turned 40 and started noticing some wrinkles and deep wisdom lines on your forehead, you just don't like them, well, I got them filled. So you can go there as well. We call us Bro Talks at that point. So Dr. Doug Henstrom, we talk about being a Timpview legend. He's also a legend in the plastic surgery world as well. Code 801-960-3137. Utah Facial Plastics, a proud supporter of KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of the 5A and 6A state tournament. I also want to thank NutriCost. Over 300 products available on NutriCost.com, a Utah-made company with Utah-made products made for Utah-made athletes. Use the code UTAHMADE. Get 30% off your order at NutriCost.com. Again, 30% off, guys. Go there right now. Go find your supplements. I use their amino acids. I use the creatine. And I also use the TMG trimethylglycine as well at NutriCost.com. Use the code UTAHMADE. Get 30% off.
It's hydrogenated water. He's got himself a winning combination.
You're darn tootin'. First thing I drink in the morning is 32 ounces of hydrogenated water. I'm going to start grounding in the morning. Dean Rucker hits the first.
Returning for Alta, number 5.
All I know is, you want to punch your membership in the 400-pound club. That hydrogenated water helped you get there. And that's not weight, by the way. That's pushing weight. Rucker goes 2 for 2. Good start for Dean. I mean, great start for Dean.
Yeah, I think he's got 10.
And that ball up top with Ace Reiser. Ace sends that over, or pardon me, dash over to Ace. Ace off the cross. Inside to Johnson. Jackson. Fall away over Ruckert. Short rebound to Reiser. And Ace is going to reset the offense. Heady play there from Ace Reiser. About a 5-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Snap to the corner. Carter Goodfellow. Long on the triple. And the rebound to Mason Ford.
One thing that stood out to me the last few possessions, Dusty, is you can tell Timpview is going under on ball screens, forcing the risers to shoot the ball and not have dribble drives and penetrations and drives and kicks. So interesting strategy.
Rucker with the back cut and the dunk. What a quarter for Dean Rucker. Ace Reiser with the flyby. It'll count if it goes no, and that's how the first quarter will end. What a quarter for Timpview. Izzy Engel couldn't have asked for a better quarter. And it's Dean Rucker, the absolute star of this quarter, with the two-handed flush. At the end of one, it's Timpview 21, Alta 11. You're watching the 2021 5A State Tournament on KSLSports.com.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
To fuel your athletes. Learn more at unbottled.com.
Welcome back into the Huntsman Center. Dusty Lister, Dane Stewart, and the coach, Gus Sopena. Dean Rucker, Dane, this is kind of messing with your name on me.
Yeah, I know. Hey, it's just a rearrangement of the same letters. But while we're doing that, let's play a little trivia, shall we?
Let's do it.
Since the tournament has expanded in the 5A boys tournament, the one seed has only advanced to the 5A championship once. Who was it and in what year? There's your trivia question. Hit us up on social media. You can see our handles. You get back to the game.
I know.
I know Dusty would have this one.
I think so anyway.
Only once. Of course, this is a 1-4 matchup out to the 1 seed this year, so history not in their favor.
Ooh, Dean might have just thrown me off there.
No, I just mean that it's hard for a 1 to get there.
Right? No.
Right?
I thought that there was a clue in what you said. I listened to what you say, and so, when you frame something, I have something in my head, and the way you said something, I was like, well, maybe I'm wrong. So,
there's been 5 years, and only one time has a 1 seed made it.
Yeah.
So, 80% of the time, the 1 seed is not gone. That's all I mean. I'm not giving any hint about a team or program or any of it.
80% of the time, every
Works
time.
every time. Yep.
Is it a team that's possibly playing tonight as
You
well?
can't
give away clues
Okay.
because we're giving away $10 Handles gift cards.
Yep. You see the social media handle there? Hit us up. Let us know.
and only redeemable at 114 South Fort Union in Ogden as Dash Reiser misses on the three. Naliai with the board, quickly ahead to Open Shaw, and he gets that over the smaller Dash Reiser.
You can tell that Coach Engel has told his boys, we're going to let Reiser shoot threes and see if they can beat us from deep.
How about this for the first quarter? Timpview 62% from the floor, Alta 24% from the floor.
Doliak with the board and one. Looking like his uncle.
Fellas on number 25, Mason Portis.
And the fact his uncle doesn't have his number in the rafters here is an absolute mistake.
I
Was
honestly
he an
thought
All-American?
I
want to say those are All-Americans.
Oh, those are All-Americans.
I think those are
okay,
All-Americans. I'm not positive about that, but
Okay.
I think that's the case.
Well, Chris Hill wasn't an All-American.
That's
what
a
are we
legacy
doing?
thing. That's a legacy thing.
Rick Majerus is number one in all of our hearts.
That's right.
Just ask him.
that's true.
If there's a foul.
Because, for instance, you have dual fours up there, right? And one's on the men's side, one on the women's
Yeah, women's
side.
side. But that's where you can retire both fours, though.
I think they're all Americans.
Okay.
I recall. Could be wrong.
The good part, Kim Smith from the state of Utah. Danny Vrains from the state of Utah. Tom Chambers, one of the best in-game dunk ever. I know you're a Rain Man guy, but Tom Chambers' dunk, I mean, that's untouchable. He got higher when he jumped. After he jumped, sorry. Quickly down the floor. Out the dash in the corner for three. The plan, well, Coach, here's the question. You say we're going to go under, we're going to force them to shoot threes. They make a couple. Do you say, hey, we're sticking with it? Or what's the deal?
I think Izzy's going to continue to stick with it. That was more of a rhythm three, in my opinion. In transition, that's a great, comfortable shot. In a half-court setting, Dean is on fire today.
Mercy.
Wow.
Dean Ruckert.
Well, he was 4 or 5 from the floor in the first quarter, 2 for 2 from 3.
Curtis is doing quarter stats.
Well, we've got special visitors here tonight. So
Oh, right. As that one doesn't go. Well, sometimes there's give and takes, and sometimes there's advantages with special visitors. Three on the way, and that doesn't go. Rebound to Naliai. Isa sends that one over. Oh, there's Ace with the pick, but he can't get to the ball. As every bounce right now going the way of the T-Birds.
That's the one aspect we haven't seen Alta get into yet, is those pickpockets and runouts. Hasn't happened.
It's kind of a standard of Alta, right?
It is.
Something that you've been used to seeing
Yep.
all season.
Yep.
Tolstra bring the ball near side to Dean Ruckert. Back cut to Naliai. Slapped away by Dash Reiser. On the run with Ace. Ace gets out on the baseline. Papke going to drive the baseline, reverses and scores. Good job at holding his water there with Zach Papke. That could have been a turnover.
Yeah, it's close.
Isa sends to the corner to Tolstrup. He drops inside to, or probably this is Tolstrup. No, that's open shot. Open shot going at Doliak. Nice defense. They want 3 seconds, didn't get it. Tolstrup back out to Ruckert. 10 on the shot clock. Dean on the drive. Dean floated up, blocked away by Johnson. Jackson quickly ahead. There it is. Zach Papke lays it up and in.
That's the Alta we've seen all year, right there.
Typical turning defense into offense from Alta.
Dash going to get called for the reach. Good chance to see that defense to offense.
14, Dash
I
Reiser.
thought Jackson Johnson's a big play here.
Team foul number 2. Timeout on the floor.
So timeout on the floor. We'll take it as well. Alta on a run, a 5-point game. We'll be right back. It is Timpview basketball with 4:41 left in the half. Again, Dusty Litzner, Dane Stewart, Coach Gus Sopena with you. Good Alta contingent on hand tonight.
They've got some help behind them as well, as you got the next team ready to fill in.
Now, Olympus is going to have a big crowd.
Yeah.
They always do.
Always do.
Especially semifinal championship day. Olympus will bring people. As here goes Ruckert around Johnson with the bucket. Dean Ruckert putting on good film.
Very good film. He's been able to get a step on Jackson this entire half.
I might get a call about reclassification soon. Inside to Doliak. Count it! Carter Doliak. Coach, you talked about it. He was big in the championship game a year ago.
He's keeping him in the game right now, Dusty. Just that offensive rebound he had earlier, and one. Another and one right there. Carter Doliak is just consistently steady. Always provides that steadiness for the Alta team.
He really doesn't get as much credit as he deserves.
Very true. And Carter at the line completes the three-point play.
And remember, we saw especially the first couple days, that Portal end's been the tougher end to shoot at.
Especially for Alta in that first round. Or sorry, quarterfinals.
Into the wind, so to speak.
Right.
I can attest to that.
Is that real, Coach?
No, yeah, nice take. You thought so?
We talked about it in pregame. In fact, one of our players has kind of a tie to someone here at Utah, and they've mentioned the same thing to us. So what you guys have been saying is extremely true about that side of the court.
And here's the take. Johnson, no. And the funny thing is, it's not low enough. Like at Weber State, they draw that curtain for their big tunnel. As the three off the mark. Ruckert got the rebound, got Johnson off his feet.
What a move.
And if it can be done by Dean Ruckert, he is doing it.
Amazing what happens when you play with confidence like Dean's doing right now.
He's filthy from Dean.
Papke drive the baseline once again on the reverse.
Papke's had a couple of dribble drives this half that have really helped out Alta when their offense has been struggling a little bit.
I haven't seen Zach be this aggressive all year, but Alta's needed. He's played well.
Up top with Mason Ford, hit a three early on in this one. Isa Naliai goes at Dash Riser, sends it back out. Ford past Papke into the corner. Three from Tolstrup is in and out. Tipped back up and in by Isa Naliai.
Iceman, as we called him when I was with the Timpview staff, just does all the little things just so well.
Inside quickly to Doliak. Doliak didn't get the call. Goes back up and is fouled. That's done by Carter Doliak. You get a look at it.
How about this threaded pass to Carter? There's not a lot of room there. Ace fits it in like a glove.
That could be a lot of things.
Do you not know that, Dusty?
I'm trying.
Really?
I'm trying.
Dusty, come on, you know
Dust,
that.
you know this.
Of course.
Go ahead and tell me, because it's not coming to me.
Ace Ventura.
Oh,
I
geez.
was going to say Jim Carrey?
Yeah. Sorry. Ice. My bad.
Wow.
Ace.
It's a classic.
Do you have any more of that gum? Just put me in, coach. Just give me a chance. I know it's a big game.
That's pretty good right there, Dusty. I like it. I might have to go home and watch some Ace Ventura.
Oh. Did you hear the story about Dan Marino? He was offered a portion of the proceeds of that movie, or $30,000, and he took the $30,000.
I did not know that.
He confirmed it on the Pat McAfee show during Super Bowl week.
Wow. Kudos to
Dan.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, great move, Dan.
Great move. Stepped that ball inside to Hansen, and Hansen gets his first points. It's the first points of the game. And the lead back to 8, or up to 8 for Timpview. Ace working on Naliai. Ace gets in the lane, gets Naliai with the flyby, sends out Doliak. Short on the three, rebound to Ace Riser. Ace again, short, tipped out by Hansen. We got a loose ball foul on Alta.
Boy, he had Goodfellow inside all alone, too.
Coach, you think guys now are worried about or getting lost at about the college line versus the high school line when we come to the gym? Or is it just simply they're not worried about it anymore?
This year, I would say no, they're not worried about it at all, Dusty. 2 years ago when we played here, I remember our Timpview team, we went up against Murray in the quarterfinals, and the lines did mess with our guys. So I don't think it's as much of a worry as it was before.
It's interesting, especially we used to play at all this. We get that inside to Dean Ruckert. What a set. That's a pretty set. Tony Engel had driven that one up and given that to Izzy.
One of the best in the world drawing upsets right there. Isolation plays. Timpview's doing a great job of using Dean as kind of a decoy sometimes. Corbin Hansen's gotten a couple of baskets.
Carter blocked away by Openshaw. Oh, man. Carter, good fellow. What a play.
Offensive rebounds again are keeping Alta in the game. They've had a lot of baskets off of offensive rebounds in this first half.
Of course, Izzy's father, Tony Ingle, one of the great basketball coaches that around college world, beloved. Kennesaw, Georgia, and passed away during COVID. Send that ball to the corner. The three short from Ford, now on the run with ace. He forgot the ball and then turned it over. Uncharacteristic play there from Ace Reiser. It is a 2-for-1, however, on the turnover. Look at the ball back, about 6-ish seconds left off the shot clock. As Reiser, they're saying he tipped it.
It's a little Nashville set that we call at Timpview. They're just trying to do a little dribble handoff action, bring everybody up to the three-point line, look for a backdoor potentially.
Jackson Johnson.
So Jackson Johnson is back on with 20 seconds. Zach Papke gave good minutes, comes off the floor. Timpview looking to increase their lead going into half. 13 on the shot clock, down to 10. 6-second difference between game and shot. Dean Ruckert goes at Johnson, got him to fall behind, and Ruckert hit the brakes, let him fly right by, knocks down the fall away. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2. Reiser at the horn, too strong, and that will do it for the first half. Could not have gone any better for Timpview. They have a 10-point lead at the break. T-Birds 40, Alta 30, rematch of the 5A championship a year ago. The winner moves on to the title game. You're watching the 2024 5A state semifinals on KSLSports.com. Presented by Heidemann Associates, brought to you by NutriCost. Use the code UTAHMADE. Get 30% off your order at NutriCost.com. Welcome back into the Huntsman Center. Dusty Lister, Dane Stewart, and Coach Gusto Pena. And it is the third quarter. That is not our graphic. That is their graphic here in the Huntsman Center. But come out of the second half, and we're going to be switching sides. And Coach Pena, we talked about this off camera too. Switching sides here at the Huntsman Center and see what that means to Timpview, who shot the ball very well in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely, Dusty. They shot incredibly well in the first half. Dean Ruckert, 9 of 11 from the field. Alta didn't have as much success. Let's see if it turns the tide a little bit for Alta.
17 of 29 from the floor as a team for Timpview. Alta was 11 of 33. And Daniel, see if it helps them snap out of things. As here's Jackson Johnson, sends out to Doliak. His feet were set on that three, no, and extra possession. Doliak slashes to the rim, and that's what he does so well.
Yeah, and he was really their best guy. Had 11 points in that first half. Doliak did. And I love the no give up, the cut without the basketball, able to finish it off.
As Naliai loses the handle, sends it over to Dean Ruckert, who was, as you mentioned, Coach, absolutely unreal in that first half. 23 points on 9 of 11 shooting. He was 3 of 3 from deep, 2 of 2 from the stripe. That's a NutriCost free throw special. Down the lane, Ruckert finishes.
Little isolation play right there from Izzy to get Dean a little bit of momentum going in the second half. See if he can keep his confidence up and keep going. Quite the performance from Ruckert.
Oh, no doubt. As this goes out to Dash Reiser. Reiser going to pull up on the baseline. Crawls off, and Isanaliai pulls down the rebound.
One thing that Coach Ingle, I'm sure, has told his team is that we want to put Alta in positions where they're not used to being in. And right now, being down 10, you can kind of see a little bit of the forced shots coming a little bit from the Reiser boys.
Yep.
Can Alta stay patient and execute and get some stops on defense this half?
Up top with Ford. Mason hit a three early on in this one. Goes to Dean Ruckert, who in his matchup against Jackson Johnson did far better. I think we expected him to. This one blocked by Johnson. And I imagine the senior, his pride got pricked a little bit. Like, how much pride he got in you? Here comes Reiser, sends it out. Doliak again for three, no. And the rebound taken by Mason Ford.
Alta took 15 threes in that first half. 15.
Uncharacteristic of Alta as a team. They're 3 of 15 from deep. As that ball's inside, and Mason Ford gets the floater to drop. And now a 12-point Timpview lead.
As the game gets a little bit tighter and tighter and tighter as it gets to the end of the fourth quarter, Alta looks like a little bit of pressure is getting to them, maybe.
Drop it inside. There's
Great
Carter
pass.
Goodfellow. And that's the thing. Hey, there's not a 12-point shot. or a 14-point shot. He's got to. How do you need an elephant?
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. I knew Gus knew it.
Yeah, absolutely. East Coast thing, right, Dusty?
Absolutely. It's funny. Dane would have been a Philly guy too if we were in missions now, because his mission got absorbed. Not to get churchy on the broadcast.
I can do a lot of damage.
The good thing is I can start saying lots of stuff. Dane's playing through it. He's playing through it.
I'm not capable of defending myself.
As
so.
Ruckert at the charge.
Yep.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, yeah, that's an offensive foul. He's set.
And a timeout on the floor. 4:40 left in the third quarter. This is a Utah Facial Plastics timeout. We'll be back after this break.
This is apple cider vinegar from NutriCost. This is apple cider vinegar from another leading brand. NutriCost has 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar. So does this other brand. NutriCost is third-party tested, non-GMO, and gluten-free. This other brand? Well, we're not sure. NutriCost is also available at a great price delivered right to your door. NutriCost has over 500 different products for health and wellness. NutriCost, only what you need.
Welcome back in to the Huntsman Center. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, Coach Gus Sopena. 4:40 left in the third quarter, and for Alta, they got down by 14, now down by 10. And it's just staying with it as our broadcast expands. We've had sideline reporters, we got replay, and now we have the floor cam as well. And on top of that, we still control the Jumbotron. I mean, we're doing all kinds of stuff with Vince Francis. Goes outside with Ace Reiser. Sends out over to Goodfellow. Now Dash. Getting this zone to move. Jackson pumped the three. Now going to drive, hangs, and crawls it in. Nice take and make by Jackson Johnson.
Great decision there by Jackson, too, to not force it. Hey, I sound like Doc Rivers.
You do. Especially after bad losses when he goes and blames all of his players. Just ask J.J. Redick.
You have to bring this to my salary negotiations.
There's a take and make by Isa Naliai. Oh, no. Dane's already planning it. There's a foul before the shot. The foul will be to Isa.
The wit is still here. It's just whether you can hear it or not.
The funny thing is, in our relationship since 2005, this is the inverse.
This never happened.
And now I know why. Dane, are you okay? Are you fine? Because I'm like wanting to do the same thing. Hey, man, you're good. Our first state championship, Gus, I called that championship game with a voice like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Provo versus Highland. And it was, welcome to the East Center. We'll keep the ball along the baseline. Craig Drury lost that night to Coach West. Is on the drive is Reiser. Sends it back out. Papke open for three. And Zach Papke. He's got 7 points.
One of the best games I've seen from Zach this year.
Yeah.
And Doc Rivers.
We can still hear you, though.
Yeah,
Dane.
We got you, Dane.
We got
but that
you.
ball goes out of bounds off of Ace Reiser. It is so much better to be on this side of it, though, because I know exactly what you're thinking.
I've been on that side with the coach, so
Yeah. Oh, Rucker blocked away by Johnson. Ball loose. Ahead to Papke. And Papke now with 11. Beautiful play by Jackson Johnson.
You finally hear some Alta cheering going on. Been a while since they've been able to cheer.
5-point game, 3:10 left. It's a full timeout. Gus, let's get some of your thoughts. If you're coaching, you're with Izzy Engel right now, and you see all of a sudden the big machine starting to turn, what is it you're talking about in this timeout?
Just settle the guys' nerves down. Just tell them to relax. And at halftime, I know what Izzy probably told him. He's like, listen, it's a game of runs. Everyone makes a run in basketball. They're going to make a run at some point. They're the defending state champions. Let's just execute. The defensive physicality is going to increase, especially on Dean, as you can see. Jackson Johnson's been playing some much better defense recently. So Izzy's just reminding us guys, just execute the game plan. Just relax. right? Just play within yourselves. We'll be fine.
And I think it's very interesting because it is a game of runs. You knew they get going, but Dane, I mean, if you're Travis Swords, like, finally, like, let's go. You almost feel like you're in Armageddon. Finally, we can go home. I should have waited because that could have been a really good crumble one.
Some of it is just, hey, just stay patient, right? We've been down before. You think about that Corner Canyon game. It did not look good for 3 full quarters.
Right.
In the fourth quarter, they got back to doing what they did. The seniors stepped up, trusting your stuff. It'll come. Timpview's not going to shoot this hot, or at least you hope they don't shoot this hot for the full contest. Get back to playing good D, which they have, and allow that to set up your offense.
Ruker goes to the corner. They chase Ford off the 3. He steps back to 3. Short. Naliai, as he does, comes away with the loose ball. And Ford rattles home the 3. That's all Isa Naliai.
Oh, Isa. Yep, Iceman once again making those non-stat plays right there, right? Hustling after that rebound. Great dish to Mason Ford in the corner right there.
I love Mason Ford. I love his game. Doesn't get talked about enough.
Love his brother Coleman.
Yep.
When you see that save to Naliai, and in the corner 3 to Mason Ford. Was our contingency referees are gone. They didn't want to jump on the broadcast anyway. As Ace is that out. Bo Compton. That goes in and out, and the rebound to Mason Ford.
One of the things we didn't talk about at the break, Timpview was out rebounding Alta 20-14. That's continued here in the third.
Hey, just let the boys play.
Says the guy behind the camera.
I'm in front of one right now. As 49-41. And that ball's loose, picked up by Papke. Continues to make big plays. Doliak goes at Naliai and give him the block and the bucket. Carter Doliak on a nice find. Zach Papke once again making the big play for Alta.
You know what Isa's trying to do, but he is late on that setup. That's the right call by the official.
Feet weren't set. Totally the right call, Dan. I totally agree.
Well, remember, the new emphasis is your clarification and just reminding referees, hey, on a charge, if he is not in defensive position before his legs coming up, that is a block. As Doliak completes the three-point play.
Look at this.
Back to 5. Something else is at 5. Oh, boy. Trevor Phibbs better look out.
Trevor, I'd turn off your phone for the night if I were you.
Mason Ford sends that ball out to Naliai. Rukert to the corner, Tolstrup.
He's had a quiet night. He hasn't been able to get free.
Doliak's played a great game tonight.
He has.
That's where Carter Doliak is extremely underappreciated for what he brings for Alta. Up top, open shot. They had a denial behind. Papke was there. That ball got airmailed, and it goes back to Alta. And all of a sudden, Uncle Mo is wearing Alta black and white.
And there's Bo Compton there bodying with Rukert on the inside. We haven't talked about Bo much tonight.
Bo's about to go bussin'. If you get the reference, you can hit us up and get a 4-pack of crumble cookies. Bo Compton's gone bussin'. Fit that inside to Doliak. Blocked away! Open shot, the block. Isa Naliai couldn't save it. And it will remain with Alta as we welcome the sideline cam back to our broadcast.
That is solid.
What an addition to the program.
Solid.
Wow. Great addition.
I think we have to send Dane down to go do sideline interviews since the girls took off today.
They wouldn't be able to hear me.
Really had other things going on as that goes to Johnson for 3. And it's a 2-point game. Timeout, Alta, with 1:04 left in the third. Jackson Johnson announces his presence with authority.
Timpview led by 12. Down to 1 possession now.
Coach, why would you take a timeout after a momentum-grabbing shot?
That's a great question, Dusty. I think Travis right now is just reminding his guys of maybe an execution play they're looking to do it defensively here. You notice, I don't know if anyone caught it, but the last couple possessions, Alta was starting to trap a little bit. They were trying to change the momentum, make them kind of play their version of basketball instead of them kind of reacting to Timpview. So maybe Travis is telling them in the huddle, hey, let's go back to that trapping defense, kind of set up our defense a little bit. That kind of leads to some offense that we didn't see a lot in the first half.
So you think it's more about resetting that defense, make sure, hey, this is all set for the end of the third?
I believe so. I believe that they just want to continue to build this momentum, continue to build off of it, and get this lead back.
Because I'm one of like, hey, hit that three. Let's get a turnover and let's tie this thing right now and let's get to the fourth quarter. That's kind of my stance. And I was just curious.
Yeah, there's blood in the water, and Travis is like, hey, let's do it exactly what you just said. Yep, a little bit of pressure right here. So resetting that defense, putting Jackson at the top with his length.
Inside of a minute left in the third. Trap at the top. Nolly, I just got that over to Ford. Compton's got to be smart, or he will be busting because he'll get put on the bus for changing this game. Hansen gets around Ace Riser for a moment, sends it back. Tolstrup didn't get it cleanly, pulls and hits.
There's that big three that we haven't seen all night from Callan.
Callan Tolstrup, and it's a 5-point game.
Talk about a momentum shot right there too, gentlemen. Like to lose the lead like that and to come back and execute that play, fantastic job.
Jackson down the lane, and the foul to Ruckert. Couldn't get it to crawl in. Number 3 on Dean. 20 seconds left in the quarter. Nice take here by Jackson Johnson.
Yeah, I was actually surprised they didn't call it top of the key there.
So Jackson Johnson to the line with 20 seconds and crawls in number 1. Jackson Johnson was our 5A player of the year last year for Rewind. He and Ace, we call them co, right? 5A players of the year.
I don't remember.
I only have one plaque in my trunk. It was Jackson, so I'm.
Yeah, I don't know if we did co.
Actually, we did just do Jackson. I think we just did Jackson on that one. You have to look out for the Rewind Awards this year. It's going to be a tough year because naming Mr. Rewind, oh baby, that's
got
a tough
it down
one.
to the final 8.
We're not doing polls anymore, so don't ask. 10 seconds.
That missed your opportunity.
Yep. Adults ruin everything. Down to 6. 4 seconds. Nolly, and we're going to get a foul on the floor on Compton.
It's the first team foul on Alta.
A good one to give. It's an inconsequential foul.
First team foul.
2 seconds left. Nice hands by McKay. And that ball will go out of bounds. There'll be 2 seconds left in the quarter. Maybe a better inbound spot here on the sideline. No, everyone likes the baseline inbound, but do you think it opens it up?
Absolutely. Izzy's got his sideline out of bounds place here.
What a play by Compton.
Great block.
That will do it for the third quarter. We've got a good one. 1 quarter left, and one of these two are moving on to the 5A championship game. Timpview looking to get back like they did last year, get to the title game. Alta looking to defend their 5A crown. You're watching the 2024 5A State Championship Basketball Tournament on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships. Like he always does in the semifinals, getting the crowd pumped up. 1 quarter left, 8 minutes of basketball. The winner moves on to the state championship game. Again, this is a rematch of last year's 5A final. Alta looking to go back-to-back. Timpview looking to win their first in a long time. And getting back to the championship game if they can hang on. They've had the lead. We're up by as many as 14, and Alta has it down to 3. Dusty Lister, Dane Stewart, Coach Gus Sopena with you. As Zach Papke, who has been integral in this comeback, as Ace Riser hits the 3. Might as well call him Ice.
That takes some cojones right there to shoot that shot.
Intestinal fortitude, as Gorilla Monsoon used to say. That ball loose, picked up by Mason Ford. Nolly Island, the baseline to Hansen.
Izzy calling an isolation play here.
Well, Ice and Nolly with Ace Riser. Hansen up top. Mason Ford steps back to 3. Back rims to 3. Jackson Johnson gets the rebound. And now on the run with Riser. Ace sends out to Compton. He's going to calmly set up the offense with Jackson Johnson. And near side to Ace. Uneven floor. Compton straight ahead. Johnson for 3! Riser and Johnson open the quarter with 3s, and it's a 3-point Hawk lead.
And Dean Rucker, who was so good in that first half, only 2 points in the third quarter. They need to find number one again.
How about the energy in the building? It's a wide out from the Alta student section as it's up top with Ruckert. Ruckert out to Naliai to the corner, open Shaw, 4-3!
What a big shot by the sophomore right there. Real open Shaw. Credit to him for shooting that shot.
All tied up at 55 as Johnson drives. Johnson misses, rebound to Ford, and the contact continues to play. They've got to continue to call like this for the next 6 minutes. Let the boys decide the ball game.
Timpview.
Oh, miscommunication. Ford diving on the floor. Back to open shot. Go ahead, coach. And now Izzy takes the timeout.
Timpview looking to do a little too much isolation, in my opinion, right there. Look, if they can kind of get the ball moving again, get some rhythm and flow, that's what worked really well for them in the first half.
Trivia.
Yeah, let's do trivia. Answer the trivia.
So our trivia question was, since we've expanded the playoff, only one team in the 5A boys, it was a 1 seed, has made it to the championship game. Who was that? In what year? Guess?
Alta, 2023.
Negative. Guess?
Oh.
Olympus, 2021.
Oh.
Olympus is the team, I think, was it 21 or 22? It is Olympus. And it was in...
Yeah, 21, they didn't reach
22.
the championship. Yeah,
22.
I
was off by a year.
21 season, 22 tournament.
That's
but
right.
just one time, the 1 seed has made it to the championship game. That surprised me.
Oh, but what a game. I
Great
mean,
game.
how about we open the fourth quarter? Ace Reiser finally hits a 3 after being cold in that first half. Johnson buries one, and then come right back. Even after the timeout, Mason Ford hits a 3. So these two teams, Gus, are feeling it.
Absolutely. And, they say big players make big shots in big games. And you can tell Alta's big boys are coming out and making some shots. So kudos to them for that. And then Timpview to be able to come down the court and hit that big shot by Will Openshaw right there. Hopefully, again, they can get some flow going, and Alta can kind of go back to featuring Jackson and the Riser boys a little bit.
One of the big things down the stretch of this is who's able to keep their team in and just keep that, whose heart rate is going to come down just a little bit down the stretch, because for the next 5:46, it's what's going to take.
And I'll tell you one thing about Jackson Johnson. It feels like his heart rate never gets up.
It's true.
He plays so calm. Even those made threes, like, yep. Yep.
That's what's amazing about Alta is they just are so even keel. Like nothing's too big for them. So you got to trust their experience right now in these last 5 minutes.
They'll be Ice and Naliai inbounding the ball near side, and as always, our coverage presented by Heidemann and Associates. Right near Timpview is Justin Heidemann and Associates. Get a free consultation. Let them know the Rewind sent you. Flat rate law firm at Heidemann and Associates. Go to Utah.law, find the law office nearest you, and also NutriCost, 30% off when you use the code UtahMade. A Utah-made company with Utah-made products for Utah-made athletes at NutriCost. And Reiser with the steal. Naliai's back ace seals him off, gets the flyby and the bucket, and it's 57-55.
Here's that out to D.
2 scoops of ace in the fourth quarter. Out to Naliai. Hands off to Hansen. Hansen to the corner. Isa. Try to go backside. It's taken away by Johnson. And now Alta with a chance to get up 2 scores. Izzy's feeling it. Jackson sends that ball to the corner to Doliak. Carter back up top to Compton. Now Reiser. 4:45 on a rolling clock in the fourth quarter. The winner moves on to the 5A title game. That second semifinal will be coming up next. Compton over to Johnson. Johnson pumped the 3, now drive. At open shot, can't get it to go. And Ford claims the rebound.
Dane mentioned in the pregame that length of Timpview was going to be a problem for Alta. You can see it right there. Ooh.
The steal, Johnson, fouled by Ruckert. Did he count it?
Oh, on the floor.
Oh, call it on the floor.
That was 4th.
Number 4 on Dean. I did wait a little long on that one. My fault.
It's a big call right there on Dean Ruckert, getting 4 fouls with 4 minutes to go. Can Dean stay disciplined these last 4 minutes and not foul?
and Dean was uber aggressive in that first half. I haven't seen that same drive, initiative from here in the second half.
I agree. The physicality and the defense of Alta, you can tell, has kind of messed with Dean's confidence.
Inside. And it's and one. Number 5 on Ruckert. It's Jackson Johnson. The first half went to Ruckert. Second half has gone to Jax.
Oh, how the turntables have turned.
That's why they play 2 halves in basketball, gentlemen, right?
Absolutely.
I can speak from experience, having a great first half the other night against Highland, not having the best second half. So got to play 2 halves in the state tournament.
When you switched ends of the floor, and that's a lot of what happened here a little bit tonight. Alta woke up on this end of the floor.
Let's just take a moment. One of the great performances in a semifinal.
Oh, absolutely.
In that first half, just come to a close. But what a night for Dean.
As a sophomore.
Yeah.
That is Tyler Hawes-esque. That is Ryland Jones-esque. I mean, you name some of the great 4-year players in the state of Utah's history. He's right up there. And that is Tyler Hawes in the semifinals in 2007. No doubt about it.
Can Timpview score some points without Dean in the game now? That's going to be key.
Isa can't get it. That ball's off of Reiser. And it will be Timpview basketball.
Timpview here needs to depend a little bit on Mason Ford. Mason Ford's got that drive. He's not afraid to shoot the big shots. They need to lean a little bit on Mason Ford here these next 3 minutes.
There's Tolstrup goes in, was trying to go into Nolly Ivy. Have a foul on the floor. And this one on Bo Compton. I think it'd be number 2 on Bo.
Alta foul, number 2, Bo Compton.
3:49 left in the quarter. Timpview was up 14. Alta opened up this fourth quarter, down 5. A couple of threes, got rolling. There's Nolly extra pass. Ford short on the 3, rebound to Compton. And Alta has a stranglehold on this game. Up 2 scores with the ball. Inside of 3:35 left in the ball game. Reiser to Johnson. Johnson working on Tolstrup. Trying to go to the turnaround, couldn't get to it. Nice hands by Hansen, tracked down by Ace. 15 now. Jax to the corner, nowhere to go. Into Compton, give back to Johnson, fall away, rattled in. Jackson Johnson, once again. Timeout, Izzy Engel. And Jackson Johnson just become an animal in the fourth quarter.
And even coming off the floor, he's like, settle down, guys. It's just
tremendous 2-man game right here.
Yep.
Between Jackson. It's a fantastic job of giving the ball up and staying actively engaged and driving to the basket, dropping right there. It's a fantastic job by Alta.
3:07 left in the fourth quarter. We'll be back. You're watching the 2024 5A state tournament on KSLSports.com.
This is apple cider vinegar from NutriCost. This is apple cider vinegar from another leading brand. NutriCost has 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar. So does this other brand. NutriCost is third-party tested, non-GMO, and gluten-free. This other brand? Well, we're not sure. NutriCost is also available at a great price delivered right to your door. NutriCost has over 500 different products for health and wellness. NutriCost, only what you need.
Dusty Litster, Gus Pena, Dane Stewart with you. And a 7-point game. It's not over. The shot clock and timeouts left for Timpview. They have 2 timeouts to go. And we go inside of a minute. The clock will continue to run even on main buckets as that ball goes outside to Nolly. But stay calm inside of 20 seconds on the shot clock. Isa straight away. That's short. And Tolstrup couldn't get to that ball. And it will be, are they saying tipped out of bounds? I'm seeing Travis Warner with his arms out. And I let it roll too long. We won't be able to get a look on the replay. That's a Dusty problem. That's my fault. Trying to get it in and does a Tolstrup. He falls away to 3. No. Papke with the board ahead to Compton. And the Hawks can feel it.
Johnson has helped them pull away. But Papke's made big plays tonight for Alta.
Papke's made great plays tonight for Alta.
That second quarter kept them in the game. As that ball gets away in the hands of Papke. Baseline, send it back out. Johnson pumped the 3. Step to 3. Got the 3! Nolly with the answer on the other end. Here comes Ace. Give it up to Doliak. Blocked away from behind. Nice job by Openshaw. And then a foul on the sideline. We're going to take a look at that last Johnson 3.
He looks comfortable in his new home, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's already moved in.
It was move-in ready. You fans, you should be excited. You're going to lose Brendan Carlson, but you're going to gain Jackson Johnson. On the drive, Nolly can't get it. Johnson with the board. And gives it up to Ace Reiser. He could have forced that up the floor and didn't. As there's Compton with numbers. Sends out Papke. He doesn't pull the 3. He sends out to Ace. Ace with Ford with him. Ace inside. Got inside Tolstrup. Got inside everyone. And missed that one. Tolstrup. Here's Hansen. Now Openshaw with the flush. And now a 5-point game. Important possessions.
Yeah, game's not over. Timpview sticking around right now. So great patience. Last possession by Alta. A lot of guys could have taken the shot early in the shot clock. They decided to kind of wait for the great shot.
Send that over to Ace Reiser. The other part, not just giving up the foul either, as now they do with Hansen. Oh, no, Alta takes a timeout. Even better for Timpview. Because I was like, why give up the foul with 20 seconds on the shot clock? Only 2 possessions. They got plenty of time. Full timeout. We'll keep it here. Let's enjoy what we've got here, guys. This is a terrific atmosphere. So much fun. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, Gus Opena. And Gus, give me your overall thoughts. I mean, you were on the bench a year ago, as we talked about with Timpview, and now Izzy, now coaches don't do this. You had a 14's like, we've got to keep this going. And when it starts to dwindle away, now talk us through what's the change in mentality as a coach once that lead goes by and now you're down 2 scores.
Just trying to calm everyone's nerves down. And, you know, sometimes coaches that are inexperienced are really good at describing the storm that's happening, but they have to try to navigate the boys through that storm. And so Izzy, in that situation, probably just told his guys, just relax, focus on what's gotten us here, what we're really good at. And you can tell that they kind of did that, but they gave up some big shots to Alta. Props to Alta for making some incredible plays in the second half.
And Dane, whenever we do Alta games, we say big moments. All of a sudden, it's Ace Reiser's moments. How big for Jackson Johnson on a year where he's not forced it offensively. He doesn't force it. He had to tonight, and he was absolutely huge in the fourth quarter.
I think the biggest thing for me with Jackson is just stay patient and stay in the game. Don't let early missed shots take you out mentally. Because when he was ready to go in that second half, he came and he hit it.
And all of a sudden, I'm expecting Kevin Garnett to come walking in the building. I can't quite explain it, but I'm expecting it. That was really good. 1:07 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Ace Reiser. Ace sends that ball in the corner to Papke. Papke, 4-3! He was the Alta Hawk offense for a little bit, but it was looking bleak. He rattles home the 3, puts them up by 8. Nolly back rim, the rebound to Jackson Johnson, and now a foul to Ison Nolly. It'll be just the 13th foul. They'll have 1 left to give for Timpview, but Zach Papke, coach.
Man, the kid showed up tonight. He made some terrific plays for Alta, really at timely moments, too. You can hear that Alta crowd.
.47 seconds left. Here's Ace Reiser. Good defense by Timpview. It is Timpview ball. Nicely done on the sideline by Nolly. And not only that, you get the ball back without having to use a timeout to potentially get into this 3-possession game. The clock will not stop on a made bucket. Nolly send to the corner. 3 on the way. Off the mark. Rebound to Papke. Johnson quickly head to Doliak, doing what they always do, and Doliak lays it in. Jackson Johnson throws the best two-handed pass 88 feet away. He really does. He can dot that thing.
And props to Carter Doliak for getting out in front and trying to get to the basket as well, too. You can tell that him and Jackson have a great rhythm together.
As the three won't go for Ford and the board to Doliak. And then the foul on the rebounds will walk to the other end of the floor. Well, actually, we won't. It's only the 14th foul on Timpview. Last to give.
Man, what a tale of two halves tonight, Dane and Dusty. Just incredible first half from Timpview, and Alta just stayed patient, stayed calm like Dane mentioned earlier about Jackson, and just executed, knew that they were going to make that run.
Well, this is the thing we talk about this 5A tournament, is that one just be a runaway. Ski with the exclamation point. I didn't expect it. I thought he was going to lay it in. You think he's feeling it tonight? He's levitating.
Levitating Holmes.
Have a night, Zach Papke. And that will do it. Down 14 to win by 12. Alta comes from behind to knock off Timpview, and they move on to the 5A championship and give themselves a shot to go back to back. Guys, it's moments like this, you're just glad to be a part of it. And I'm glad we have the floor cam to get the celebration. Dane, let's get some, let's go Gus first. Let Dane, every second counts. Let Gus go first. Gus, your thoughts on what we saw tonight?
Absolutely great first half, like we mentioned earlier, from the Timpview Thunderbirds. And I'm so impressed with Alta's composure. It's one thing that, again, I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, just really impressed with how patient and calm they stay. Really even keel. Fantastic job by just the Alta Hawks, just being well coached and just knowing that they have the ability, the confidence to be able to come back, and they can withstand anyone's run. And that's a mark of a great championship pedigree team right there. So major props to them. And Zach Pemke tonight, what a performance tonight, especially when his team needed it the most with how poor they shot in the first half. Fantastic job by Zach tonight.
And Dane, I mean, we've seen a lot of this Alta team. Our company's done every game this year, and you did a lot of them. This was something they knew they'd have to face. Sooner or later, a champion's going to have their back against the wall, and what you learn about them is what they do when they're there. Special night.
I think this is as gritty of an effort as we saw going back to that corner canyon thing. Sticking with it, hitting shots late. Heck of a job by Alta.
Selection of a player of the game.
I got to go to Jackson Johnson, a big night, but Zach Papke kept this team in it long enough and had the exclamation mark at the end. Johnson, Papke, your players of the game.
Didn't expect to see this, Zach Papke. We're going to make sure to replay that one for you, big fella. To Izzy Engel and Timpview, look, they aren't going anywhere. Dean Rucker isn't going anywhere for 2 years. They will be back. They will have their chance, and they will have their day. There's no doubt about it. But today, just like last year, it is the day of the Alta Hawks as the Hawks come from behind to come take this one 72-60. What'd you have, Dane?
If you look at the stats, shooting percentages flipped at the half. Literally, 33% for Alta in the first half, 64% in the second half. For Timpview, 59% in the first half, 33% in the second half. That's the difference.
There's something about it. There absolutely is. Well, the Alta Hawks reign continues. They'll have a chance to go back-to-back on Friday. Congratulations to Coach Travis Orrin and the Alta Hawks. And again, an outstanding year to the Timpview Thunderbirds and Coach Izzy Engel. What a season, what a game. But Jackson Johnson, Ace Reiser, Zach Papke, and crew, a little too much to handle. Again, our final score, 72-60. Alta moving on to the 5A championship game, where they will take on the winner of Olympus and Highland. For Dane Stewart, Gus Pena, Austin Bigelow, Bauer Anderson, and Vince Francis, I'm Dusty Litster. Thanks for joining us and for watching KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of the 2024 5A State Championship Basketball Tournament on KSLSports.com, your exclusive online home for state championships, presented by Heidemann & Associates and brought to you by NutriCost.
If you want to avoid your